UFC, the newest UFC Featherweight and Invicta Featherweight Champion. How are you doing, Felicia?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm really good, thank you. Really good. First things first, congratulations. You're a UFC fighter. How does it feel?
It's pretty crazy. Didn't expect it to come in like that, but definitely happy to be there, and I'm definitely ready, to be where I am. So thank you, though.
Well, that's it. That's amazing. Obviously, 6-0 as a professional, four finishes out of the six. It was only a matter of time before the UFC came calling. Were you expecting it? Like when you got the call, like how did it all go down? Was it out of the blue? Was it somewhat expected?
Well, I had a call from Shannon actually, kind of unexpectedly,
Yeah.
basically asking, what I if that would be something I was interested in. And of course, I was jumping on it. So I definitely owe it all to Invicta for not just having the platform, but also for being willing and always looking out for, you know, their fighters' wants and just, allowing us to chase our dreams. So definitely owe it all to Shannon, basically, for
Yeah.
getting.
Well, as you say, Shannon, she's never shied away. She's always said, "Look, Invicta's the place where female fighters grow to get into the UFC. The UFC is ever expanding. Obviously, with the 145 division, there's always been a few question marks of the depth. We've had fighters go over. I don't know. Have you heard Megan Anderson's recent comments about the featherweight division?
I heard something, I think from last week. I don't recall everything that she mentioned. I know she mentioned a couple of signees, and just looking forward to fighting, against
Yeah,
Sam.
exactly. So she was essentially saying, for anyone that didn't hear it, she was basically saying, it's still shallow, and the people that are at 145, the likes of the people that fought out of the Ultimate Fighter, so Bayer Malecki, who they signed, and Macy Chiasson, who fought last week or 2 weeks ago, even though they came in as 145, as in that they're now talking about going 135, and I think she's finding it a bit frustrating. Obviously, for your first fight, I'm not sure if details have been discussed or anything like that. Has there been any details of dates or sort of timelines?
Nothing specific. Sort of a general idea of hopefully beginning of summer. So that I can understand Megan's frustrations with the lack of the signees, but there are people out there. I think they just signed someone from Brazil.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Yeah. So,
And
there are, and it's just a matter of the UFC going out and reaching out and finding them.
well, that's it. And obviously, with the success of the Ultimate Fighter, the last series with the 145s, there's definitely people out there. There's definitely people ready to go. So there's some early summer for you with that. So you're based out of Montreal, but you fight out of Florida with the Jungle MMA. Is that right?
Yeah, I've lived in Florida most of my life. I was
Yeah.
born in Montreal, but yeah, that's where I come from. And then I've trained and lived in Florida. Mhm.
So what's the split? So you're in Montreal right now, correct?
No, I live in Florida.
You are in Florida.
I
Okay.
Florida, but my family moved when I was like 4, so I've
So
been
you're
Americanized. Yeah, I'm American.
yeah, that's great. So with the likes of so I was looking at the gym with Jungle MMA. You got the likes of Seth Petrozelli there. So what's the sort of vibe with Jungle MMA? For anyone in the area looking for a place to train, what's the vibe like at Jungle MMA?
We're just a big family. We get lots of people that are just here for temporary time, or long, people who have been around for a long time. There's a lot of, professionals now, and even amateur athletes, people that just want to come in and get a workout, that never want to compete. We've got everyone on the spectrum at the gym, but, if anyone's there with a bad vibe, they just politely get asked to leave. And
Yeah.
that's pretty much how we do it. It's just a good atmosphere to be in. So
Got you and Seth telling them to get out. Yeah, basically.
yeah. Yeah, Mike Lee is actually normally the one that's a little more assertive. But yes, Seth is kind of a teddy bear sometimes, so but he'll keep everyone in line.
No,
Big goofball though.
well, that's perfect. And so obviously going back to your record, 6-0, three submissions, all of them rear naked choke. Is that by chance, or is that always in the game plan? Like, how does that come about when you're known for being a rear naked choke expert?
Yeah, it's never really been like the game plan. After the third one or the second one, I was like, well, I guess this is something that I am pretty good at getting in competition. Um, yeah, I mean, it never really was like what I was aiming to do, but I mean, I've been doing jiu-jitsu for a long time, and I guess it's one of my better positions to get to, especially in a fighting, combat environment where certain other positions might not be as good. So, yeah, it just kind of worked out like that. It's kind of cool that I have a thing. So,
There you go. Everyone needs a thing, but you're not shying away from any other types of submissions if you get the opportunity.
yeah, no, I mean, in the gym, I'm always trying weird things and new things. So that it's just a matter of time before another one pops into my game in competition. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I thought I would have been more for getting arm bars in fights when I first started because I was always
Yeah,
getting them, but it just didn't work out like that.
it happens. There you go. Like I say, you got that one thing. So you said you potentially going to fight sort of summertime. So what's the life for you right now as you wait around to hear fight news? How often are you training? How often is it as intense? Are you using this time to sort of rest your body and get it prepared? Like what's sort of the layout right now?
Well, I'm staying busy. I work full time. I'm training. I'm pretty much training like right after my fights. I take a month or two where I'm just kind of enjoying some time off, going to the gym. Maybe once a day or skipping training here and there if I want to. About a month ago, I went back to like just being on a regular schedule with coming in usually twice a day, sometimes once a day, depending on my work schedule, and just kind of picking it up. Being a little bit more cognitive about dieting and just being healthy and feeling good in the gym.
Yeah,
And then pretty much, I don't want to pick it up too much for the time being until I hear about a date. And then usually around 8 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks out, then it'll be picked up, a little bit more to, 3, 4 hours a day sometimes. So I don't want to do too much too soon and then not peak at the right time. So I'm really just enjoying the grind right now. I mean, work always keeps me busy, and I throw in other things. I do yoga. I do different things to help round out the training. So it's keeping me busy.
good. So what's your favorite thing to do, sort of non-fight related, or maybe even non-fitness related? What do you like to? What's your escape? Is it yoga? Is it something else?
I have been really enjoying yoga, but I only do that maybe once or twice a week.
Yeah.
I hang out a lot with my fiance. We just have fun and hang out, go walk at the park, or we actually just bought a house, so it's a
Congrats.
super fixer upper. So we're spending a lot of time, pretty much any weekend time that we have is just over there fixing up the house, trying to move into it soon. So that's what I'm mostly excited about, just doing some yard work and painting and gutting out kitchens and all that good stuff. So
It really does take your mind off the fight game, I suppose.
yeah, it's a whole new different training.
Yeah, I can.
It's
I can definitely imagine that. So, are you going to be going to UFC Miami? Are you going to be attending that, or
I know that's coming up soon, right? Yeah,
yeah, a couple of weeks?
I haven't really thought about it. Maybe if the UFC could get me in there, maybe get me a couple tickets, I'll go on down there. But otherwise, I probably wouldn't go if I'm, needing to pay for tickets and stuff. I'm just gonna probably watch from home.
It's fair enough. How about with Invicta now? Obviously, you're now in the UFC, but nobody ever took your Invicta title from you. Are you still going to be sort of involved in Invicta? Like, it sounds like you have a great relationship with Shannon. So, how does that work? Are you just going to be attending, or?
Yeah, whatever Invicta wants me to do to support them, I'm here for them. And my one of my best training partners, Megan Colley, also just signed with Invicta, and she'll be fighting soon. So I'm not sure if I can tell the date yet, but I'll definitely be there. I'll be, if not in her corner, then there, supporting her and hoping to keep encouraging featherweights to fight for Invicta and keep that division alive. I kind of felt almost torn. I almost didn't even want to think about the UFC because I felt like I just did all this to build the featherweight division in
Yeah.
Invicta. I know there's other featherweights that they're building. So I hope that they keep doing that and push, and maybe someone else can fight for the title soon and keep it alive. So
there you go. Is Megan featherweight?
Yeah, in featherweight. Or no, Megan's not featherweight. I'm sorry. She's bantamweight.
Okay, cool. So so what's her current record though? What's her situation?
It's her debut.
It's
She
her
won
debut.
her last Tough Enough fight. It was the similar kind of a situation that I was in when I won my Tough Enough amateur tournament, and Invicta noticed her and signed her. Right, no pro fights yet, but she's ready. She's a tough cookie. We have a good time, training together, and she's been training with me for years.
Yeah.
Probably 5 years now. So she's grown so much, over the years. It's been amazing to, see her start 5 years ago with just a little bit of background and then end up in Invicta right now. It's like, this is right where she needs to be. Yeah.
That's amazing. That's brilliant. So we'll likely see a rear naked choke from Megan in her debut.
Possibly. She does like to punch a lot more though.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, them bantamweights are quite scrappy. I'll give them that. So, for yourself, Felicia, is there in your mind an ideal first UFC fight? And opponent-wise, obviously, Megan saying she needs fights. Is there anyone that you might like to?
It's hard to say. But the contract that I was given was sort of like an entry level kind of contract. I'm definitely happy with everything that we agreed on. But I'm down to fight anybody. I'll fight Megan. I'll fight anybody. But based on what they offered me, it looks like they want me to fight an entry level kind of a fight. So I'm guessing one of the other featherweights they're signing, I'm guessing, is the route they're going to go.
Yeah.
If Megan comes up, then maybe we should talk about, maybe we'll talk again about the contract that I have, which is normal. I wouldn't want to be
of course
less than I'm worth, if that came up, which I'm, definitely open to doing. I know Megan's looking for that fight in early summer. So I'm open to anything.
That'd be good to go. So I don't want to take up too much more of your time. So Felicia, for yourself, 2019, it's a big year for yourself. Is there anywhere you see yourself at the end of 2019? How active are you looking to be in the UFC this year? Obviously, it's all dependent on outcomes, etc. But are you looking for maybe one fight in the summer and then possibly at the end, or where do you want to be at the end of 2019?
Yeah, once I get going, I'd like to stay as active as possible. The more I can fight, obviously the more I'll get paid, and the quicker I'll be able to temporarily leave my full-time job and actually have the opportunity to train full-time and reach my full potential, which is part of the reason why I'm okay with taking just sort of another random featherweight for my debut, if that's what they want to do, build the division up a little bit, get a few fights in, and then kind of go back, go to the top excuse me, go to the top of the division and allow myself, really the opportunity to reach my full potential. I've always been working 50-hour weeks this my whole career, so it'd be nice to put work on the back burner and train full time. So it'd be awesome.
So what do you do work? Is it in training at the gym, or do you have a different job full time?
I'm a virtual school teacher, so I teach algebra. So it takes, it's being virtual. It's very flexible. So I'm about to be, I have my computer right here. So I'll be jumping right there. I'll probably work until about 11:30, go back to the gym, come back, work for another maybe 4 hours, go back to the gym, come back, work for a couple more hours. So, it keeps me very, very busy. It's nice that it's very low impact. I don't have to really stress about overworking that, but it's tiring, sometimes to have to manage the schedule and just always be on.
Yeah, but is that teaching sort of is it domestically, is it internationally, is it just everywhere?
It's I teach students in Florida, so homeschooled students take classes online, or a lot of physical school students that are making up classes do it. So I have a really good variety of students. I talk with them a lot on the phone, and their parents on the phone. So it's a different kind of classroom environment. being there, but it's worked out great, allowed me to train very flexibly and still be, available to them. So
That's
yeah.
brilliant. No, that is
Yeah.
brilliant. That's great. So one final question, Felicia. So obviously it's now been, coming up 3 months since Nunes and Cyborg fought. There's not really been any news on what Nunes' next plan is, or Cyborg's, to be fair. What do you anticipate Nunes will do? Do you think if she goes back down to 135, relinquish the title? What do you guess is going to happen next?
Just based on her interviews, I'm guessing that she wasn't interested in continuing to fight at featherweight. She just wanted that one opportunity. So it sounded like she kind of wanted to take a couple years off regardless. I'm definitely not expecting her to be back at featherweight anytime soon. I mean, I could see maybe Cyborg and Megan Anderson fighting. Cyborg's coming off that loss. I'm sure it'd be a good way to build her back up. She hasn't lost any marketability or it's almost more interesting now that she's taken a quick loss that it's like how she's gonna bounce back. How could you not want to see what happens next with her, So yeah, I mean I could definitely see her fighting soon or in the summer. I'm not sure what their plans are, but there's a lot of interesting routes they could take.
Absolutely, definitely. It's going to be a fun time ahead in the featherweight division. But Felicia, thank you for your time today. I really do appreciate it. Enjoy your day at work, and hopefully I'll be speaking to you very soon. We'll get some fight news.
All right. Yeah. Thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day.
And you. See you later. Bye bye.